Here is my experience with age gap relationships.
Hey guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. So this is about a girl who's had an age gap relationship, her experiences, and what she wants us to know about age gap relationship. I find this really interesting. Have you had an age gap relationship before? Have you dated someone older or younger than you? I love to hear our views, so I'll be in the comment section. Let's listen to her story.
When I was 16, I started dating a 20-year-old. I was like, oh my god, like I got myself like a mature ass man. Like he's a man. He was a pedophile. I had myself a pedophile. This relationship was so fucked up. I haven't talked about it on here. Honestly, I didn't want to. The reason I am talking about it is because if there's a girl that was like 16-year-old me out there that was in the same position, maybe this story can help her get the fuck out. But I was a junior in high school and he was old as shit. But when I was 16, I thought it was the coolest thing ever. I was like, I got myself a man. Like he's mature. He's like, all he thinks like he's a man. No, he was a fucking loser. This man lied to me about being in college. When I was 16 years old, this is my first boyfriend, first like basically everything ever. I think he's my knight in shining fucking armor. Like I think the heavens above sent him to me and I'm like, my man, my man, my man. But in reality, it was fucked up. Not only just fucked up because of what actually happened during the relationship, it was illegal. I was 16 at the time. I think knowing all those things at 16 years old was like, ooh, this makes it like fun and risky. I'm letting you know right now, you're gonna look back and be like, what the fuck? Because that's what I did. When there's an age gap like that, specifically when you're talking about teens and 20-year-olds, there's a huge power dynamic. Like normally the older person is in charge of the entire relationship because they'll use the line like, well, I'm older, I've been through a relationship before, you're new to this, like all those things. But the power dynamic is so dangerous because they use that to get whatever the fuck they want. And especially it being my first relationship, he would use things against me like, no one's ever gonna love you the way I will. I'm like, bitch, you really barely even fucking love me. When you're 16 years old and you have someone who you think has lived a life, you're going to believe everything they say. This relationship became so toxic that at 17 years old, he moved in with me. I literally became this kid's mother. He moved in with me because his mom was gonna make him pay rent and he was like, well, I can't afford rent. And at that time, I'm like, oh my god, she's so cruel for that. That's fucking reality, bitch. Like, that's growing up. Like, you gotta pay your own rent. So I was 17 years old. I was working like 35-hour weeks and I'd come home to this motherfucker chilling on his iPad, not in school, working 10 hours a week at a grocery store. Like I was financially supporting the both of us because that's what I thought I had to do. Because I was groomed and manipulated into thinking that. Go to part 2. Mind you, I'm still in high school dating this fucker, and I'm like, why won't you take me to prom? Like, why won't you do all these things? He was legally not allowed to. But the relationship did become verbally, physically, emotionally abusive, all of the above, and I let that shit happen for so long because I was convinced I was gonna marry this person. Because when you're 16 years old, you don't know any better. Well, that time I was like 17. But looking back on that relationship, I would say the biggest thing was I'm embarrassed because roles reversed. As a 20-year-old, when I was 20, I would have never in my fucking life dated a 16-year-old because it's weird and illegal. And my friends would have been like, Livy, why the fuck are you dating an infant? Let's flash forward to my dating life now. I've always dated older. I don't know. I feel like I attract older men. But in my past relationship and past situationship, I had a 10-year age difference. I was 22 and they were 32. Want to know what I learned from those fuckers? Is that age doesn't mean shit in the sense of maturity. Like, you could be 32 years old and still act like you're 18 years old, especially as a man. Like, that's not a joke when they say that men mature later. Like, what the fuck? Listen, maybe I just dated 32-year-old losers, which like we know I did, because I've seen relationships like that work out with people with age gaps. Like, I think I'm not like hating on age gap relationships, except the 16-year-old ones. Like, those are fucking weird. Some can work out, but no matter what, I've still seen the power dynamic thing try and shift. Like with the 32-year-olds I was dating, they're like, well, I've like lived a life, and I'm like, I don't give a fuck. You don't know more than me. Just because you're older, you're not going to use that against me either. I also noticed they get threatened by success like a lot more than someone my age that I've dated. Someone my age that I've like dated, they think what I do is so cool and everything like that, and like my accomplishments are like, oh my god, that's fucking amazing. But the 32-year-olds are pissed and they're always trying to Me having to go grab a package like this because bitches in my building like to steal. But the 32-year-olds just feel threatened by someone who's 10 years younger than them, their success. My biggest thing is date older if you feel like that's what you want to do. But don't let these motherfuckers use their age against you. Just because they're older doesn't mean they know more. I feel like that's the biggest thing to take away from these videos. But if you're a 16-year-old dating someone significantly older than you, maybe take a step back and reevaluate some things. Those are just some things I've learned dating older men. I think I'm fucking with the young guys now. I think I like them a lot more.
Whose reality is this? Because I know that this is somebody's reality. And honestly, it is not funny. I know how overbearing some guys can be when they are older than you. Please, I would like to get your experiences. What advice do you have for people that are in age gap relationship? Please drop it. Don't forget to like, share, and follow for more.